When I started painting, my goal was to learn how to paint water. I found it difficult, and I still struggle with it, but it's still my go-to painting when everything else isn't working out and I want to paint something fun. I just want to relax. I want to create something. So I decided to paint this scene, and what I found out pretty quickly was this scene needed to be altered. So if you look at the photo, you can see that the cliff is below the water line, but I had to bring it up. It just didn't look right. So I brought it above the water line, and I knew that was going to work better. Now with any painting, I always start with the darks first. Now sometimes I'll actually do the sky or the sea first because I want to make sure I have an idea of what the value is on my lighter lights. The more I worked on this one, I was feeling like I had the sea too dark, and I thought maybe I should try to get the sky in so I can get a better idea of what the value is going to be. Now at this point you'll notice that the sea and the sky value is about the same. It was an overcast day, but started out too dark with all of this. Now, a painting's always an adventure and an exploration, and you kind of play with it and you change values as you go. So I'm trying to make it lighter. You can see I finally figured that out. It's good to remember that the horizon on the ocean is always straight. So even if your photograph doesn't reflect that, you need to make a straight line before you get started so you don't get off balance. The other thing is you can try to freehand it, but I often find that that doesn't really work. So I use a square to make the line of the ocean before I start anything else. What attracted me to this scene was the grasses in front of the ocean, but when I first started out, I knew I could not paint those grasses and have it look nice. So keep that in mind. You'll see how I brought the foreground of the painting down. I was just going to paint the cliffs coming down to the edge. But in a minute you'll see all of that changed. So here I took some titanium white, ultramarine blue, and I'm trying to get in the surf. And I was feeling kind of like I was doing too much dabbing. I needed to make more assertive strokes. There was a lot of surf in this painting, and so I'm taking it all the way around. And this is a strategy I use all the time. If I feel one aspect of the painting isn't going well, I switch over to another part of it. Okay, trying to lighten up the water, trying to make it appear more of how it looked. That's better. One of the discoveries I've made is cobalt teal. If you add a little titanium white, it makes a great color for the ocean. So as I'm looking at this, I'm wondering, what is my focal point? And I started to realize maybe I actually did need that grass, but was I going to be able to get it in? It was a conundrum. So in true avoidance pattern, as I always do, I switch back to the ocean, thinking, trying to get a little bit more texture in the water, and trying to add a little cobalt blue in here to brighten it up. And this point, as usual, trying to decide, is this painting even going to work out? And this is where I decided, let's see if we can get the grass to work. So I started with my number 4 filbert, using it sideways, and started stroking the grass in. I definitely need to come back to this later. I'm getting frustrated. So there's several things I need to fix here. One is this is supposed to be a fog bank, and it's not the right color. This is the distant cliff, and I need to fade it out a little bit because you don't really get that perspective. And this beach scene needs to be a different color. It's too much the same as this, and the same as this, and the same as this. So that's what I'm working on right now. So to make a long story short, because I got distracted, I don't know, I just got carried away with the grass, because once I started to fill that in, I started to feel pretty good about this painting. So I got my magic fan brush out. This is the first time I've really used it. And this really did the trick. You can get the edges, you can go like this. Anyway, it took care of the grasses. So tell me what you think about this painting. Appreciate it. Happy painting!